As a dog lover, it's no surprise that I saw the latest horror movie, Good Boy, directed by Ben Leonberg, and which starred his dog, Indy. So, immediately, this movie caught my attention because, as I already mentioned, I love dogs, I love all animals, but I especially love my own dog. And this movie, which I will get into spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, please go see it. It is genuinely such a well-made movie that surpassed my expectations in ways I didn't think it would. So, for some context, the movie is about Indy, the dog, and his owner Todd. Right off in the beginning, it's obvious that Todd is suffering some kind of chronic illness, potentially cancer or some other disease. And of course, unfortunately, like it is with most things, a lot of the times these illnesses, there's either no cure for them or there's really not much that could be done that will fix it in the long run. And so Todd brings it upon himself to just leave everything behind and take his dog to go live in the secluded family country home. And it's revealed later on that it's deemed the creepy haunted family home because many relatives had lived there and passed away there, and it's pretty apparent that there seems to be some kind of generational illness that has been going on for years. And regardless, the two of them, they arrive, they stay there, and already something seems off because once arriving, Indy, the dog, can sense some kind of dark entity following the two. But obviously, the movie is from his perspective, so Todd doesn't even see all this, only Indy does. So, because Indy can sense these supernatural forces, he ends up having visions of Bandit, Todd's grandfather's dog, who we later find out that the two of them died in that same home. And obviously, we can see that Todd is worsening both emotionally and physically. He starts coughing up blood, he starts splashing his head against the walls like he does. He just becomes more erratic. And this is kind of delving into spoiler territory, but obviously dogs are smart creatures and they can sense when something is wrong. But to him at least, it seems like something, maybe that dark entity that's following them, is what's causing this, causing Todd to start becoming aggressive and acting weirder and like all these things. But the climax of the movie, it turns out, is that Indy discovers that Todd's grandfather died in that home, and so did his dog, Bandit. So he discovers this because he finds out that, I guess, that same dark entity also got to Todd's grandfather and his dog. But obviously, at the end, it's too little too late because Todd succumbs to the entity and he accepts his fate and unfortunately passes, telling Indy that he is a good boy, but he cannot save him. And now you're thinking, wow, like there must have been some crazy ghost that was haunting them this whole time. But no, that's actually where this movie shines. And I think that something like this was specifically catered to me. One could even say, oh, Gummy's gonna make another video about how she felt seen, but I did, honestly, and I will explain why. So, firstly, as I mentioned, or as I kind of alluded to earlier in this video, there is no dark entity. What's actually causing all these things to occur in the movie was actually Todd's health, because he is literally slowly dying. As I said earlier, Todd tries to get treatment for his disease, but it's too little too late. There's nothing that can be done, and so now he's just succumbing to the fact that he is dying. And of course, as I mentioned, the entirety of this movie is from Indy's perspective, so even though dogs and animals in general are a lot smarter than we would think, he cannot understand that Todd is slowly dying off because of his illness. But of course, to a dog, it would seem like something is possessing him, causing him to become this erratic and this strange, because what else could cause it? Of course, like again, it's a dog. From his perspective, he was thinking, this guy loved me, my human, he loved me so much, but now all of a sudden, he doesn't even want to be near me. He's acting weird, he's coughing up blood, he's like, what's going on? And that's where I feel that this movie shines, because it's a metaphor for death, for someone being sick, and unfortunately nothing can be done about it. And the reason I feel so seen by this movie is because, as I mentioned, I have my own dog, and there's not a day that goes by where I don't stop and think, how long do I have with my dog? How long does she have left with me? And that's the scariest part about death and time and living. There's really no telling, ever. 1 minute, things could just end. So you really have to cherish the time that you have with the people you love, the pets you love, everyone and everything. And additionally, I've mentioned it plenty of times on my channel, but I lost my grandmother to cancer a couple years ago. And even though I've obviously had to come to terms with it, it's never gotten any easier, and it doesn't make my fears and worries go away. So I guess my real takeaway from all of this is to please remember that there is a good boy, a good girl, good whatever out there that would do anything to protect you. And that, as the movie suggests with Indy and the love that he felt between him and Todd, there's no way to prevent death. It's inevitable. But sometimes there's nothing that can be done. So cherish the life that you have. Live the life that you want to live. Be kind, and the world will be kind to you. And to any fellow dog owners or pet owners of any kind, cherish the time you have with them. Because while it might just be a chapter in your life, you are their entire world. You're their entire being. And that's why I feel that Good Boy made me feel seen. Special shout out to Chomps for being a gourmet gummy over on Patreon, and thank you to all my other patrons. Bye bye.